The school year might be nearing an end, but now's the time to enroll and register your child for the 2024-2025 school year. Visit cpschools.com for more information on how to register your child today. Welcome to Amplified, the Chesapeake Public Schools podcast.
Chesapeake Schools is located in the Hampton Roads area of southeastern Virginia. We serve 40,000 students in 45 schools and 3 centers. This podcast is designed to tell the stories behind our story and to introduce and celebrate the people and programs that make us one of the premier school districts in Virginia.
All right, welcome back. This is Matt Graham here with
Richie Babb.
And we are here on another episode of Amplified, the Chesapeake Public Schools podcast. And we are just back from spring break. Happy to be here. It was a great break. Did you have a good break?
I did. I didn't take vacation for the whole time, but it was relaxing. It was nice. I'm sure. I mean, being the family man, you have, well, not that I'm, but my kids are just grown. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure you had a full spring break.
Oh man! Well, I took a couple of days off, but the kids were off, and we had the in-laws in town from New York.
Oh, okay.
It was a great time. I love having them in. Our house definitely turns into like a little mini hotel.
Hotel Graham.
Yep.
Hotel Graham was over for spring break.
Yeah, but one thing I can tell you though is they're already back, and I still get text messages from them saying how cold it is.
Oh, sorry about your luck.
Yeah, you should have
stayed. I don't know
stayed.
what to tell you.
Yeah, buy some property.
Stayed. Yeah.
But anyways, one thing that's going on we got is April is the month of the military child.
Right.
And did you know, Richie, that Hampton Roads is home to the largest naval base in the world and the only NATO command on U.S. soil?
Well, yes and no. I knew that the largest naval base was here. I think a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
But I did not know that the only NATO operation on U.S. soil was here.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I mean, I knew NATO was here, but I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then in Chesapeake, in our school system, 20 to 25% of the students are military-connected students.
Wow, that's like 8,000 or 9,000 kids.
Yeah.
That's a lot of kids.
It is. It's a lot. Yeah, and on this episode, we're very happy to have 2 people that work hand in hand to help those military families and military-connected kids within our school system. One of our success stories and another story behind our story here in Chesapeake Public Schools is the strong connection that we have with the military and the support that we provide for our military families and students. Today, we have 2 special guests, Laura Lerf, a family and community engagement specialist with Chesapeake Public Schools, and Captain Frauenzimmer, the commanding officer for NSA Hampton Roads. Welcome to the podcast. And Laura, can you go ahead and start us off and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a proud Chesapeake Public Schools graduate, and I started my career here in 2008. I started at Indian River Middle School as an English teacher. Spent 7 years there, and then kind of realized that I wanted to help students more on the emotional side of things. So I got my degree in school counseling, and I was at Hugo Owens Middle School as the 6th grade counselor for 6 years. And while I was there, I served as the school's military point of contact, planning events for the military families and, making sure our military connected students got acclimated, and just really realized that I loved working with the families. A big part of being the 6th grade counselor is helping those students get acclimated to middle school, but helping their parents get acclimated to middle school as well. And then when I saw that this position as a family and community engagement specialist came open, I thought I'd go for it. And now this is my 3rd year in the role.
Very nice. Now, Captain Frauenzimmer, you're originally from California, right?
Yeah, San Clemente, California.
Okay. Yeah. And so tell us something about the route to get here.
Yeah. Great. My dad grew up on the East Coast, ended up on the West Coast. My dad was a Marine Corps infantry officer. And similar, I was Navy, went to school on the East Coast, spent most of my time in West Coast, in fact, Northwest. Right after we got married, my wife and I came through here. I was in a course at Naval Station Norfolk. We fell in love with the area, made some great friends. And so at the end of my squadron command tour, we said, hey, we have a couple options of where we want to go. And to the top of the list was the Hampton Roads area.
Really?
Oh,
so
nice.
That's how we landed. Now, there was 16 moves in 19 years before that.
Wow.
But we have been here this summer will be 8 years.
Wow. Yeah. So do you get to stay? Do you know how long you're going to be here?
That's the plan.
Okay.
To retire here in the Old Dominion and raise our family.
Okay. Well, tell us about your family. You have kids, and
I do. I got a 15-year-old. She's a freshman at Morey High School up in Norfolk. We live in Norfolk. And then I got a 10-year-old daughter that is in 4th grade at W.H. Taylor Elementary School. And my wife and I will celebrate 25 years being married here in about a week.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Wow. That's very impressive.
Yeah. So how did y'all's roles sort of intersect? Where did the collaboration start and begin?
For me, the first time I met Laura was when we did servicing our schools. I think she had just got here. I had just got here, and this was 2021. So it's on the tail end of COVID, still kind of in that fragile area, and it was August. And we did servicing our schools where I bring a whole bunch of sailors on in, and we prepare the classrooms for the school year to come. This is, hey, we're going to be back in session again. This was awesome. And that was the first time that I met and understood what Chesapeake Public Schools was about.
Yeah, and when I came into this role, part of it was being the point of contact for our military families for the district. And so I kind of took a lot of the lead from the military school liaison, who at the time was Dr. Jeffrey McGee. And so we started doing military partnership meetings with Captain Frauenzimmer and leadership from our schools and representatives from NSA Hampton Roads. And we just kind of made sure that we were supporting all of our military families. What are the challenges that they're facing? What can we do to support them while we're here? What kinds of things do we need to be aware of? And so just making sure that we have that continued partnership.
Do you find, having moved around, that school systems, this is common in school systems to have this sort of support and this kind of program?
Never seen it before, to be quite honest. And I'm not surprised. Chesapeake Public Schools was the first and only in the Commonwealth of Virginia to be 100% Purple Star schools. And I heard a lot of great things about Chesapeake, from people that I've worked with before. And then coming here and seeing it and putting your hands on it, with Dr. Cott and the rest of the team that they have, they're engaged in a way that I never saw in any of the other school districts that I've been.
Yeah. So, Laura, tell us something about the kind of supports that we offer. I know you've said some things.
So Purple Star, I think, is definitely an important component. That's a designation that's awarded by the Virginia Department of Education. Our schools every 3 years have to complete a really detailed application, just kind of detailing all of the things that they do for our military-connected students. They have to provide evidence of a well-established peer transition program. They have to detail everything that they do for our students who are receiving special education services. There's different training modules that the points of contact have to complete, as well as everybody in the school. And it's also a really great way for them to, show all of the awesome activities that they do for Veterans Day and Memorial Day and Month of the Military Child, which is celebrated in April. So I think that's really important. We're also really excited to have some military family life counselors in our schools. And that's been really awesome to see, in the 3 years that I've been in this position. When I started, we had, call them MFLACs, Military Family Life Counselors. We had them serving, I want to say 3 of our schools, and now they're in 27 of our schools.
Wow.
So it's such a great resource. And then our current military school liaison, Miss Tiffany Johnson, she's amazing. I had a chance to work with her when I was a school counselor at Hugo, and she's another one that's always there to answer any questions that families have. She'll get them connected with me. I get the families connected with her, and we just make sure that we're serving them any way that we can. And another thing we have is our Anchored for Life clubs, which are in several of our schools, and that actually serves as the peer transition piece for that school's Purple Star designation. And so they do different things like having quotes on the morning announcements, about resilience and things like that. All of our new students that come in, and not just military connected students, all new students that come in, they give them a tour of the building. They introduce them to the key people that you should know in the schools. And the coolest thing, I think, is that they provide our schools with different kits at no charge to the school. The schools can order as many as they need. They offer kits for new students. It's a really cool swag bag that's got pencils and different cool things in it that kids might need for school. They offer deployment kits for students who have a parent going out on deployment. They offer grief kits if a student loses a parent, and divorce kits if they've got a student whose parents are going through divorce. So all of these different resources that this club offers to our students, thanks to our partnership with the military.
Yeah, right. Anchored for Life, fully federal funded, and just a great partnership with schools.
Nice. Wow. Yeah, and you were just last month at Hickory, right? What was happening over there?
Yeah, so Read Across America Day. It's my most favorite day of the year every year. It's what I look forward to, reading the book without pictures to a whole bunch of kindergartners.
And you can tell that it is one of his favorite activities. It is so fun to watch him read that.
I'll tell you, it's the highlight of my tour so far, and reading to those kids. And it's just, they're the future leaders. And it's just been, it's always a great time.
Right. And it's not just you, though. It's your team, right?
Yeah.
That comes to do that?
Yep. We bring, I think we had 40 sailors that came on in and across Chesapeake Public Schools. Some did it in Norfolk Public Schools as well, to do the Read Across America, and then our child development centers as well.
And he doesn't just come in and read either. He allows the kids to ask him questions. He kind of talks about his experience. The kids being able to hear that you've lived on all but one continent. That's just, it's so cool for them to hear that experience. And they're able to ask him questions on things that he's seen and things that he's gone through. And a lot of our kids don't ever leave Chesapeake. And so for them to have someone to come in and be a guest in their school and hear about those different experiences, it's really powerful to see.
So what's the one continent? Antarctica?
Antarctica. A penguin. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
we'll get there sometime.
Good for you. You didn't have to live there. Wow. So this just occurred to me. Obviously, we have a huge military presence in Hampton Roads. How do you get to be the guy that is the liaison with us?
Yeah, great question. So when we take a look at the military bases, and I like to say when God created the big three bases, that's Norfolk Naval Station, Jeb Little Creek, and Oceana, I have all the rest. And part of all the rest is here in Chesapeake, with the exception of Fentress, and that's Oceana's. That's here in Chesapeake. But I'm kind of the lead when we took a look at the commanding officers. Where naturally should I be involved in that community, enriching the community? We have 3,000 acres. I was just down with a couple of Chesapeake city councilmen and deputy city manager down and given a tour of our installation down in Northwest Annex, commonly referred to as the radio station down there. And so for me, I am the lead guy for the Navy with Chesapeake.
So one of the things we do, Laura, of course, is that you mentioned before, is our Operation Military Families. Tell us about that. Yeah,
so this year it'll be our third annual event. It's being held on Saturday, April 27th at Indian River High School. It's starting at 3:30, and it's just a really fun way for us to celebrate our military families. We always hold it during April, which is Month of the Military Child. And so we make sure to have some informational sessions for our families on things like supporting your child through deployment. But at the same time, we also make sure to offer different school and community and military-related resources. We have our human resources department brooding any of those military spouses that might need a job, and just offering them information and resources that are available in Chesapeake. And then while the parents are visiting their informational sessions, we've got really fun team-building activities for our students to participate in. And we're really excited this year. We've got the United States Fleet Forces Band Woodwind Quintet that's going to be performing for our families as well. So.
And it's really well attended. It has been the last couple of years,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that they really seem to enjoy. I think we had a parent reach out not too long ago wondering when it was going to be. So that makes us happy. We're excited to put that on.
Yeah. As Earth Day is coming on up, we plant a tree with you guys every single year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were at Chittum, I think, last year, right?
Yeah. That's a beautiful school.
It is. It is.
So we'll be planting trees again with you guys this year. There are other opportunities that we do in service projects to come on in. And then otherwise, as we go on through, hey, what are some of the things that are changing in the Hampton Roads? What are the other deployments? How do we prepare for certain things? And then just being your advocate as well on the federal side when it comes down to federal funding and stuff like that, or other areas that we can throw the federal government, the weight of the federal government behind when we're looking at other funding and other types of things.
I know that both of you experience the challenges that military families have, each side of the coin, different sides of the coin. So I'd like for each of you to talk about what you perceive as the challenges that military children and families have. And Laura, we'll start with you.
In my counseling experience, I always saw kids that varied so much coming into the school system. You have these kids who are PCSing to the area, permanent change of station. And some of them will walk right into your school building and say, hand me my schedule and point me in the right direction. I'm good. But then you have other students who really need that extra care and that extra support, making friends. They might be a little bit more on the shy side. And so I love seeing the variations in kids. And that's where I love being able to step in my school counselor role and help those students get acclimated. And then as far as the families, everything from school district to school district is so so different. You've come from different parts of the country and different parts of the world, and it's just hard to figure out how everything works when you're in a new spot. So I love being able to kind of help those families navigate how it is in Chesapeake, answer any of their questions, and link them up to anybody else that can be of support to them.
Yeah. And you've experienced it both as a parent and as a kid.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I didn't have to experience it as a kid. My dad was out of the Marine Corps by then. I mean, I never moved once growing up, but I've seen it through the eyes of my kid. You know? My oldest daughter went to 4 schools in 1 year. Wow. That's a lot of schools.
Yeah.
Between Northern Virginia, Florida, and Washington State. So, and that's navigating so many different things, and having someone like Laura to hold your hand when you show on up is absolutely critical, especially when you're just trying to figure out where's my towels so I can take a bath as you're moving across country.
Right. So, Laura, we've been talking about the charges and the needs of military kids and military families, but the experience that these military kids bring to school gives them a sort of unique perspective and unique abilities, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, when I was at Hugo, I ran a club, an after-school club for our military-connected students. And I remember one of the activities that I did was I put up a map of the world, and I had them put a thumbtack or something as to all of the places that they've lived. And just seeing the places all over the world where our students have gone, listening to them talk about the different foods that they've eaten, and like I said earlier, some of our students here don't ever leave Chesapeake. So having those students with those worldly experiences, bringing them to our other students, I think it really opens their eyes. And I mean, it allows these military connected students to have friends all over the world. With social media and technology the way that it is today, they don't ever have to lose touch with their friends. They can keep in contact with them and have friends wherever they go. Right. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah, and the other thing I think probably getting these military kids together, it gives them a support network among kids who have some of the same experiences.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I ran a deployment group when I was at Hugo, and being able to kind of listen to the kids say, where's your parent deployed right now? This is where mine is. And oh gosh, they might be in the same spot or close to each other or something like that. It's really cool. We certainly don't discount any of their struggles, but just to kind of watch them flip it around and say, well, this is what I get to do instead of this is what I have to go through.
Right.
This is what I get to do. It's just really cool.
Nice. Do y'all have any special messages or anything that you would like to share with our military connected families and students?
I think I just want our families to know that we have so many supports that are available to you. Please reach out. Anything that you need, we will do our best to connect you with if we can help in any way.
Yeah. And it just occurred to me, there may be some military people listening who are like, I didn't know you offered all that. What's their best way? What's their best route to getting in touch with you and taking advantage of some of these offerings?
So they can reach out to me directly, laura.lerf@cpschools.com, or they can reach out to the Office of Family and Community Engagement. Our office is obviously the one that puts on all of the events. We do a military family workshop in November of every year. So it's ongoing activities. And like I said, we're always available to connect them to any supports that they may need to. So they're free to reach out to me. They're free to reach out to Tiffany Johnson, and we'll help them in any way that we can.
In that same vein, for any of the folks, regardless of the service that they're in, whether they're Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines, or Space Force, going to their installation, each installation has a school liaison officer, and that is your entry into the door for either coming in or leaving. And that school liaison officer is your one-stop shop for all that gets you in contact with whatever school that you're going to. So for those that are here in Chesapeake that are going somewhere else, that school liaison officer is your first stop when you get those PCS orders to go to Timbuktu to figure out, how do I go from this school district to that school district? They know exactly the interstate compacts that are there, and then they're going to reach out to that school liaison in that location that you're going and have a warm handoff in between your student and that student wherever they're going in the world, whether it's overseas or whether it's in the U.S., wherever. That school liaison is absolutely critical for that first step when you get those permanent change of station orders. Talk to your school liaison. What are the schools I want to go to? Or I'm going to go to this school. What do I need to know? Hey, let me put you in contact with this person. Let me call them. And now you got a friend right when you show up. And they should be doing the same thing over as they're coming on in, going through Tiffany, going to Laura, and being able to connect those kids immediately when they show up. And that's, those are some of the highest stress times that are when you're doing that PCS move. And granted, you do make friends faster as a military brat. I'm supposed to tell you that BRAT is an acronym. It's brave, resilient, adaptable, and tough. So there you go. There's your military brat bit.
There you go.
But, that's an initial type of thing. Just to take one thing out of the parents or the kids' bucket as they're moving, they're going to have a friendly face, and they're going to have someone that reaches out even before they show up. I mean, via email or whatever the case may be, to connect to you and to say, hey, Tommy's going to meet with Billy. He's going to be on the buddy bench on Tuesday, your first day at school. That's awesome to have that friendly face on it, and that's where it starts.
That's great.
And we're lucky because Tiffany's so great. We work so well together. We've been working together for years, and we've got each other on speed dial. I really don't think that there is a day that goes by that we're not either talking on the phone or texting with each other. Yeah. And she really does a great job of connecting with our families, like you said, that are coming in or going out. She has so much information to offer them. So we're really lucky to have this partnership.
I want to thank you both for coming in today and being on our podcast and sharing all this information for our families.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Amplified, the Chesapeake Public Schools podcast, and we want to extend a special thank you to all of our military families and connected students. And don't forget to RSVP to our annual Operation Military Families event that's held on April 27th, 2024 at 3:30 p.m. at Indian River High School. You can RSVP and find out more information by visiting cpschools.com.